Now, apparently, I'm live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and those who think they're boys and those who think they're girls. Good evening, also. If there's any of those, I assume there's not too many of them listening to this particular channel. So here we are. It's 8 p.m. It's the 20th of the 12th, 2022, and only a few more days to go until Christmas, and then it'll be all over for one day. So you got Jimmy on his own now, just at the moment, and Jason will be joining in at some stage fairly soon, I'd imagine. He said he got a bit delayed or he got called out on something he didn't specify. So he said he'd be a little bit late, and he'll join when he can. So we'll just carry on as if nothing has happened or nothing has changed. And so I want to say hello to everybody in the chat, and it looks like I've got all of one person in the chat. How you doing, Tony? He's just finished off. Oh my God, Rob Halford. Jeez, that's a name I have not heard in a long fucking time. How you doing, Rob? Good on you. Tuning in from Facebook there. And Tony has just finished off wrapping his gifts. So it would seem. And for the little ones, fair play, Tony. How you doing, Ron? And good man, Rob. How's things going down under these days? This last 2 years, it's been a bit tough for you guys down there. So hopefully all is going well in whatever part of down under you're in. It's from what I've seen, lad, it's gone fairly berserk down there and a little bit too communist for my taste, you know. So hopefully they're all doing okay. Um, who else is in? Got Starfish Troopers is in the house. How you doing, Peace? And Dinny, how you doing, Dins? So yeah, Rob was saying because Rob was joining us from Facebook, and Rob was saying that people are worried about more lockdowns coming. Um, yeah, I can understand their concerns. It's tough. I've been watching what's been going on in China at the moment. China have just relaxed their zero COVID position, so it'd be it'd be very very strange. I think if Australia did not follow. Well, it's wrong to call them communist China, like, but it'd be very, very strange to see if Australia would take the opposite route to China and go zero COVID now because they have been following China for so long. Uh, as I don't know what's going on in China, to be honest. It's looking a little bit strange. I have a story there somewhere. That there's new information coming out about China just at the moment. So I might try delve into that small bit and maybe try and sort of like maybe just guess where the fuck things are going there. It's obviously like I think what's been going on in China is like because of their zero COVID position, and now that they've just relaxed, it's inevitable that they were going to, people didn't go out and get exposed to it or nothing. So now they're going to get hit hard. So it's their turn basically. We'll see where it goes. Um, this new variant that they're talking about that's sweeping through the country is like it's got a crazy R factor apparently, by all accounts. So how are you doing, Mascara? Yeah. For anybody still just joining, Care now. How you doing? Care now is saying I don't think even the stupids will lock down again, will they? Look, I think we've learned one thing. We've actually learned a lot a lot of stuff that we should have known really if we had a lot of things that we should have known really, like, but I had to learn because we've had to go through this bullshit, like, and like, especially when it comes to masking and stuff like that, and we've learned a lot, and we should have known, like, we found out a lot of things that we were told would work t- turned out to be pretty pointless, like, so I think China are starting to cop onto this now, or maybe they've known it all along, but they just didn't want to lose face. I know the Chinese can be a little bit funny like that about keeping keeping face is what they call it there. Like, so, um, I was saying we had up to 25% of the population of Melbourne out on the streets during the lockdown in protest. So I think they won't go with it again. I would think that's the case. I really don't understand what's going on in Australia. No more than I understand what's going on in New Zealand. I think New Zealand is like, it's atrocious. It's atrocious what's going on in New Zealand. Like, I was watching that case there with the little baby that was taken off its parents just so that it could go uh, get this particular transfusion and stuff. So that was awful to see. Like, and considering the parents had taken all the precautions that they should have, like, and gone and arranged proper blood for the child. So, and despite that, like, to have government interfering in the decisions of parents, like, and like government deciding what's best for a parent's child, it's like it's overstepping the mark, really, in my personal opinion. So we'll and I have to say, like, some of the protests that I've seen, like, I seen that young man getting shot in the head with a rubber bullet, like, and he was lying, he was bleeding out on the streets, man. With this protest about a year and a half ago, that was downright awful, man. It was like, that was tough to watch. It was tough to see how the Australian police were dealing with the protesters, and it was awful. Like, that was probably the worst that was going on. They were like, I know China have a bad reputation, like, but I'll tell you what I seen coming out of Australia was downright scary, and a lot of people around the world are very, very concerned that, like, this is what's in being going to be in store for the rest of us if we don't stand up and take a stand. I want to welcome Matthew Caddy to the chat. And did I say hello to Ron Malcolm? I think I may have. I said hello again anyway, just in case I didn't catch you on. One guy was shot about 6 or so times in the back with rubber bullets while he was complying to leave the park. I think that was if that's the same chap I'm thinking of. He looked like he was bleeding out and dying on the street. Like, I could be wrong, like, but yeah. That's for sure. That's for sure, Ron. Yeah, I can't believe it either, and I didn't believe it until I actually seen it. The anaconda sort of popping up and down underneath the dress was a dead giveaway. I was just thinking, holy shit, man, you know. And then I was looking at there was other pictures of Jucindy Ardern, as they say there. I think is believe how they say the name. And smoking crack. I think Jucindy is obviously a good friend of Hunter's. So oh yeah, somebody was asking, Denny was asking, where is Jason? I didn't get personal with Jason. As I say, like, I don't interfere in his personal life. Jason will be here apparently at some stage. He's just going to be a little bit late, he reckoned, like, so. I decided I'd go ahead and we'd open at the same time because we've been a little bit lax this last couple of weeks with the World Cup being on and everything. And I took some time out along with Jason as well too, and was glad of it as well too. I was really glad of it. It'd just be nice to get the odd night off. Sometimes it's a bit of a commitment coming on every week, same time, same place. But it's not that I don't like it; I love it. Like, it's good. It's good to come on, but still though, when get an opportunity just to get a night off, I'll take it. So hope you've all been enjoying your week thus far. It's been a crazy news cycle. Actually, there's just been loads of shit going on in the news. Like, so we'll probably delve into a bit of that. Like, I've been ultra bloody tired though lately. I've gone from after getting over that bout of whatever it was that was going around, that had me knocked out for about 4 weeks. My sleeping pattern was upside down. So, and I think this week now, for the first time, I've got my sleeping pattern back a little bit. So, but starting to wake up at really odd times, like waking up around like it was 3:30 a.m. this morning when I woke up. Like I'm just getting used to getting up at half three, half four in the morning now. I said like this is sleeping pattern is back. I think so, which is good. Like it's good. Like but um, and you know what? I was chatting to Jimmy O last week about shutting off that bloody wireless. I think shutting off that wireless has made a big, huge difference to how my brain is working, and it's made a big difference to my sleep and everything. And that's probably why I'm getting back into the routine and getting up nice and early. Because I was at the stage there where I was, or you'd be waking up like, and you know, you might have had a drink the night before at all, and wake up feeling like you got a bloody hangover. I knew it was having an effect on me, like, but it just there was something wrong with my old computer, and I couldn't get the. It's just fucking the network fucking card just wasn't fucking playing ball on it, like so. So getting this new little machine now and a properly working Ethernet and wireless off, and I feel fucking great. Best move I've made in a long fucking time. And I had a feeling that was causing a lot of my fucking problems in the mornings, like. So Peter's asking, "Where's my sidekick?" He's probably out getting pissed for all I know. But he said he'd join in a little while, Pete. When he gets back, he said he got held up like somewhere. So, and I didn't ask him where because I don't like the pry. So we've got only a few days left now to go to Christmas, and I'll tell you what, I can't wait till it's gone. I know it's only one fucking day, like, but it drives me up the wall. Christmas. A few. I vote that he's getting on the outside of a few, Rob. Yeah, he could well be. He could well be. Um, so let's see where to start tonight. I suppose I'll have to try and start by covering some of the stories that. Well, I was just listening to Robert Barnes, and he was on with the lads from the Duran there just before went live. So I didn't catch the whole show, like, but a very very interesting conversation was coming up about who's going to be Speaker of the House, right? Now, it's being suggested now that Donald Trump may be up for taking Speaker of the House, right? There's the suggested McCarthy. I think his name is McCarthy. Is the guy that was like uh, Trump endorsed for Speaker of the House, but he can't get enough votes in, right? So, so McCarthy is not going to be Speaker of the House because there's not enough Republicans will vote for him. So, apparently, there was an offer made to Trump that a compromise because Trump didn't want to take Speaker of the House. He didn't want anything got to do with it, like, and so apparently he's been offered a deal that he takes the role as Speaker of the House for 100 days, just so that the House isn't left with no speaker, or that something crazy might just happen, and the Democrats might actually end up fucking pulling something off and actually installing someone else who'd be from the Dem side, which wouldn't be good, like So it'd be very very interesting now, and I know Trump has lost an awful lot of support in his home base because of the what's, like, and there's a lot of reasons why Trump has been losing a bit of ground, but ah, he's a hard man to read. He's a very very hard man to read. He done a lot of good when he was in office, but he done a lot of fucking crazy shit too. Like, he should have sorted all this crap out before he fucking left. But anyway, he didn't have the support, and there was too many people fighting behind him, behind the scenes, to stop him and block him from doing a lot of things. So he didn't get a decent run. And I suppose we're right too about him being not a politician and his first time in office, and that he was very, very green around the ears, and he was thrown in among a bunch of vipers, which is probably one of the reasons DeSantis probably won't be put forward for president. Not in this round anyway, not in the round in 2024, because he's too young, too inexperienced, and a lot of the major commentators would suggest that he just get eaten alive. So I think it's believed that Trump will be the best man for the job. He's got that bit more experience and that. So, but a few interesting points were brought up about if Trump did actually get into office, like as speaker. Let's see, what was it that we're suggesting? Here's one of the things that was pointed out. There would be meetings between him and Biden. I'm pretty sure they'd be very, very interesting meetings. Like, I mean, how hard can it be to talk to somebody with dementia? It's like, would they even be listening to you? And to be a bit of a might be a bit of a whiff coming out of the nappies. You wouldn't know. Mightn't be a very, very pleasant meeting. Not for Trump. He's a bit of a clean freak. He's got this thing about germs, I believe. So, yeah. And what else was being spoken about? Yeah, that he might even have to make a trip to Ukraine. I mean, it was a good while since he got speaking to good while since he was speaking to Zelensky. Well, I'm not sure Zelensky would be over keen on getting spoken down to again, because Zelensky was being very, very quiet the last time when Trump was in office, and he was sitting there like a little baby. He wasn't begging for money or anything like that, and he was nearly on the verge of cutting a deal with Putin. And I think if Trump had got a second term, I think we probably would have seen a deal with Putin and Zelensky. That definitely would have happened, but that was never allowed to materialize. So, um, yeah, they were having a laugh. I'm talking about like Barnes and Mercurius, and they were having a laugh about like how the lefts are going to go crazy. Of like if Trump goes in as Speaker of the House, they'll go freaking nuts, and because like Pelosi set a precedent there when she called for that commission to investigate the January 6th. So like because that precedent has been set, like we're just having a bit of a giggle about what if Trump decided to run his own little commissions and his own hearings, and investigations into things like and I can't even talk about dodgy elections that much. You have to be careful what I say about dodgy elections, or poor Jason will lose the whole channel completely. So, but you know what I'm talking about. And Ron is saying germ theory has been debunked. Yeah, do you know what? It's like, yeah, there's a lot of good information out there which would debunk germ theory. But as I say, like it's still in the theoretical phase, and I don't believe any fucking cunt anymore. I really don't. So until further notice, I think germ theory is just as good as terrain theory to me. As far as I'm concerned, both theories are true until proven false, and um, so it's like everything. It's like everything these days. You can't trust anything anybody says. It's like the whole truth movement as well too. They're tearing each other to bloody pieces, man. I mean, you got Robert Malone there. He's suing Jane Ruby and Dr. Peter Bregan, and he's suing all around him for defamation. And it's not even clear that he has a decent case for defamation against Peter Bregan, because I'm not sure Peter Bregan actually said anything about Malone as such, only that he was promoting this what's his name, Desmet's theory, this crazy fucking theory about that mass formation bullshit, and And I think what Peter Bregan is saying has a lot of validity. That, like, this idea that people were in this fucking state of mass formation while they were in lockdown. Um, what he has to say about that does have merit, because what he's saying is, like, people were kind of locked away from each other. They didn't have that contact where they could go out and meet, because everybody was separated and divided, and everybody was living in their own little cubicle and separated from each other. And I mean, there was conversations going on, but they were usually at a distance, so people weren't gathering in the usual groups that would have been sort of like associated with mass formation, where people roam the street in gangs looking for anti-vaxxers and and lynching them there on the spot. Like, that stuff like that didn't really happen. Although there was a lot of there's a lot of mistrust on all sides of this argument at the moment. Like, you got mistrust with both groups, like, the people who are for the walkies and the people that are against the walkies, and um, I'd be one of those. I'd be one of those who are a little bit. I don't want to be hanging around with them too much at the moment, really, myself personally. And it's not personal. It's not personal against them. It's like, we don't know what these fuckers have done to these people, and we just don't know how dangerous this fucking shit is yet. So I've been limiting my contact with them. I put it that way. Just uh, for only essential. I won't get too close, and certainly won't hang around in large groups where they are, because I know people are sort of like, because you got this whole shedding thing going on, and you know what? We don't know what type of technology that they're using at the moment. We have an idea of some of the makeup of the technology. We know that there's a few interesting components attached to that spike protein. So, um, as to how it can spread, that's an entirely different matter. Like, and is how transmissible is it? Like, because I know in this chat here, like, we have people who don't believe there's any such thing as the goof, and then we have people who do. I'd be one of the people who actually does believe that there is something doing the rounds, and I I think we have an idea, part of what it is like, but we just don't know enough yet. Like, and this could be going on for a while. It could be a while before we get some clarity on a lot of the questions which still have to be answered. Like, because clearly something was doing the rounds. Clearly, there's no doubt about it. Like, but was it a respiratory thing? Who knows? Who knows? I'm hoping that we'll find out at some stage. But clearly, there's something going on in China at the moment. Like, there's something doing the rounds there, and those and China are they're relaxing an awful lot. Like, so they've relaxed a lot of their restrictions now, and so we'll have to wait and see how it goes with China. But this is how it started in 2020, and so is this like 2020 Mark II? I don't really know. It's I'm not going to be too worried about it. I'm not going to be freaking out about it like I was the last fucking time, because the last time when it broke out, I was genuinely concerned. I really was genuinely concerned when it broke out the last time, because there was so much fucking misinformation going around too, and you know, lots of stories about what was happening in China. But, like, and then when we started getting those stories out of Italy, and then it says, "Oh shit, this is getting real now," and that was before we really understood, like, a lot of the bullshit. And I think that a lot of the bullshit is fairly clear now, and things aren't exactly as what we were told. I think I do follow this English lad. He lives in Finland, and they got their numbers out there the other day of the amount of actual um, deaths that were reported to the public. And I think what they were saying was only 40% of the actual reported deaths from the from the pandemic actually happened. Like, so and uh, and it's a lot. It's a lot more than what I would have expected. Like, because like here in Ireland, like they over-reported the death count by about 94%, 95%. So we had in 20 2020, I think it was, we had 96 people died from the coup, and in 2021 we had 176 people died from it. Which was a big, huge difference from the many thousands which was initially reported. Like, so um, yeah, and still you can't talk to people about this. You know, I think I'm probably the only one in Longford who knows this, and I've tried to tell people about it before, but it's like, you might as well be talking to the fucking wall, because they don't get. I think my mum gets it now. I think she gets it, like, but um, she's one of the few. But I did have a good bit of time to work on her, like, so. And there's a few locals here that are kind of aware of what's going on, like, but the rest of them, there's an awful lot of them still wear masks and stuff like that, and a lot of them are clearly damaged, like up here, like, they're totally like screwed. One young lad I used to go to school with, like, I met him the other day. There he was, walking down the street, like he was about a quarter of a mile outside the town, not a soul for miles, not a soul for miles. And here he was muzzled up the fucking dog, walking along like this, and nobody around. He was, what is wrong with you, kid? Like, I used to go to school with this chap. Like, he's probably even a bit younger than me, like big strong lad, and still scared. Either scared or just brain damaged. I don't know what. It's nuts, man. Absolutely nuts. Have I missed anything in this chat room here? How you doing, you being? Just popping in to say hi to everyone. Wishing you all the best, all time and place. Thanks, you being. Fair play. Good to see you in. Did I miss anybody in the chat here? I said hello to Mia, Media Mogul. Welcome. Kendo, welcome to the chat. And did I miss anyone else? No, we're caught up there. Not so bad. Now, an interesting one. Who popped in, Rob? I don't know. I don't know who popped in. But anyway, one case I was looking at here, which is pretty nuts. I was just looking at this chick, and God love her. Holy fuck. Let's see if I can figure out how to use this software again. This lassie here, right? Supersized salon star and baby doll beauty couture found dead at 37. Right? There's another. Now look at. This is one of those. This is one of those strange cases where I'm not entirely sort of like going to think that she had a totally safe and effective death, like. And I'm going to try not to mock the dead here, right? Because that's probably not, probably wouldn't sound very well for a start. Like, so I won't be mocking the dead or nothing like that. But at the end of the day, look at the size of this chick. Now, according to TMZ sources, the star, who at one point weighed 846 pounds, was taken to a Las Vegas hospital over the weekend, where later she died of heart complications. Now, this is just one this week. Like, the amount that I've seen now this week alone, it's every week it's the fucking same. Like, all really young people. But this lady, look, that's not right. Look, how can somebody let themselves go like that? This little chick was 37 years old. There's no excuse to be that size, man. No excuse at all. That's asking for trouble, you know? Asking for trouble. I had to I had a look at some. I went on Google Pictures there. I tried to look up some pictures of her on Google there a little earlier on, just to see what she might have looked like back years ago. But there was no pictures of her where she looked like fit and lean and tidy. Like I mean, look at those. Look at those. One of her arms would make up both of my legs together. Like it's just, it's just nuts, man. Absolutely nuts. So, um, I wouldn't be so quick to put that girl's death down to a safe and effective treatment, like not when she's that size, you know. But then again, we don't know. It's hard to know. I know a lot of, I know a lot of people can be that large, like when they're 37, like and younger even. But I don't often hear of them dying of heart complaints. Usually it's a lot later in life. I don't know, but anyway, 37 years old, and another one bites the dust with heart complications. Which brings me on to there was another one. Yeah, this dude. Remember James Whale? Well, Mr. Whale, right? He was busy when he was doing his radio show there for the last 2 years, and people were calling in and they were trying to have a discussion about a certain topic, which we can't talk about here on this platform because for obvious reasons, like but the amount of vitriol and the attacks that he gave certain people who were ringing in like with valid concerns, and he would label them as anti you know what's like, and he didn't unashamedly too as well, unashamedly like, and he was very he was downright horrible to people on the phone. Well, now it turns out that he's now in hospital. And he will remain in hospital following blood transfusion while doctors treat clots in his lungs, right? So basically, Whale has confirmed he will remain in hospital following a recent series of blood transfusions as he battles cancer of the brain, spine, kidneys, and lungs. The TV and radio presenter discussed his terminal condition during a rare public appearance at the British Curry Awards in November and has since been admitted to hospital for a series of procedures. Well, 71 has since revealed the blood transfusion carried out.
Series of procedures.
According to
Well, 71 has since revealed the blood transfusion carried out. Series of procedures. Well, 71 has since revealed the blood transfusion carried out. Series of procedures.
I've got an echo there, Jason. Good man. Hold on, and I'll just get myself back here. Welcome back, man. How you doing, bro? Have we got you? But anyway, there you go. There's James Whale, and he. I don't want to say karma is a bitch, right? And because I don't want to mock the man, because like you know that sort of thing might not. That's perfect. I'm the right hand side. Yes. Fascisto. But James Whale, and I don't want to mock the cunt, right? But he kind of had that coming, right? The way he was treating people this last 2 years, and I wouldn't be the religious type. I'm not even a big believer in karma, but I certainly do believe that you do get what's coming to you. Whether it's karma or not, I don't know. Fuck. But anyway, what do you think of James Whale's story there, Jay?
Interesting, mate. It's very interesting. I mean, James Whale's always been that. He was sacked off Talk Sport because he kept getting David Icke and that sort of stuff. So I don't know what for doing crappy stuff. But look, I don't want anybody to be fucking by this. Even fucking pillocks that have been trying to push it, and you know, I don't want people to be hurt by it. But it's obvious that he's reaping sort of what he sows. If it is due to you know, any treatment that he might have had in the last couple of years. But yeah. Anyway, mate, I'm here. Sorry about that. I really do apologise, but I will listen to you because I just got in like about 8 o'clock. And I was just listening to you, and I heard you said he's probably on the piss or something. Well, I'm just going to tell you exactly why I wasn't here, and I wasn't here because I was taking somebody to court to Derby to go to court. I'm just going to show you here. This is the there we go. Here we go. Share screen. Chrome tab. If everybody remembers this story here, this one that happened last year. Let me see. Yeah, that's it. You can see that, can't you?
Yeah.
So, there you go. Damien Bendel, hearing for the man charged with murder of partner and 3 children in Killamarsh delayed again. So what this bloke has done, it was in September last year. He's killed his girlfriend and their 2 children. And her 2 children, not their 2 children, get that right. Her 2 children, and also a kid, a friend that was sleeping over, a young girl.
Oh shit!
Well, now this bloke's what he's been doing. He's been trying to go down the diminished responsibility route it's been delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed, and then I was asked if I could take the mother of the girl who was murdered, the girl that was on the sleepover. So I've just taken her down to Derby because he was supposed to be in court on Monday, but he's not being in court on Monday because he's changing his plea. And that's a world exclusive on Raconteurs News. We're bringing you some news. He is going to plead guilty tomorrow because everything's gone wrong for him. So you won't hear this anywhere until tomorrow, and then it'll be all over national news. And I actually broke it last week because I heard about it last week. So this is what's happening. I've just taken it down because the reason I've done it is because she's the sister of a friend of my wife, who we've known for years. In fact, Laura is her name. So we've been friends with her. She's known us ever since she's known Danielle for years, but she's known us, since we were from the very start. So it was her sister that was the mother of Connie, young Connie, that were killed as well, which is the one, the young lady there. Can you see there? That's Connie's. So I just took Connie's mum down to Derby to a hotel next to
Go back up. Let me see those pictures again. Let me have a look at the little girls, and that's holy shit, man. Fucking hell, it's terrible. And is that the mother up on top left? And
that's the mother of who died, because the mother, she's the mother of this young lad and this young girl here. And God. Connie here was on a sleepover because obviously she was friends with Lacey, I think her name is Lacey. Well, Lacey.
Right.
So but this piece of shit has been like trying to get it out, get out of it for fucking so long, using diminished responsibility. And for me, he's decided she asked me why I thought he decided to plead guilty, and I said that I thought that it would probably his last attempt to avoid a whole life sentence, because if he pleaded not guilty, he's found guilty, he's getting a whole life sentence for that, I would imagine. And if he didn't, then he should. And I think that this is his last. He's been told this is his last chance to avoid a whole life sentence. The reports, the psychiatric reports that have been done well, you'll find out tomorrow anyway. It's obviously not they've not gone the way that he hoped, or his team hoped, or whatever. But anyway, the piece of shit is going to be in court tomorrow. He's going to plead guilty, and he's going to be sentenced to hopefully a full life term. So that's why I've not been here. I do apologise, but as you can understand,
so he was found to be not as crazy as he was letting on. Is basically your
Well, I don't know. This is we're surmising. All we've been told is that because he was due in court on Monday, and that was going to be by video link. But when late last week, he indicated that he was going to change his plea. So the judge in the case then, because he'd been appearing by video link, wanted him into the courtroom to be sentenced. So he's going tomorrow morning. He's going to appear. I've just dropped him off at Premier Inn in Derby, which is only a 30-mile drive, but I had to go down sort of like tea time as well. 5 o'clock I was setting off, so fucking traffic was nightmarish. But anyway, that's the reason why I've been out and I've not been here, and I do apologise. But as you can understand, I did think this were quite a little bit more important than just than being here for you. Although I do love you loads, but
Hey, whoa, whoa. Stop.
Not you. I'm talking about me. I'm talking about listeners, not you. Okay, hell, fire.
Oh man, I'm gonna try. See, I need to catch up with the chat here just a little bit. There's a few extra people popped in there. I noticed. So I want to say hello to Roberto and Donna. Donna's in, and Jerry's in. Jerry is in, and who else did I miss? Did you hear Rob? Rob is in from Facebook. Robert Halford.
Oh yeah, Rob Alford. Yeah, I saw it on Facebook. So I was just having a poo before I came on, because that's what I always do. It's me. It's the thing I do. And I noticed on Facebook that Rob had been. So I said, "Hello, Rob. Hi, Rob. Hello, Rob Alford. Time we got you on again, but perhaps not a 3-hour one like you did with AD."
Oh yeah, it'd be great. I haven't chatted to Rob in fucking donkey's years. It's been fucking donkey's years. I used to be hooked up with Rob on the old crap book there when I was on it. Like that was before I left. Like, but obviously, say hello to 4629 with 04. Obviously, that number must be significant. I must check it out on Strong's concordance at some stage. Maybe it does mean something. And do we miss anyone else? Did we miss anybody else?
Roberto Rhymes Kernow, which is Cornwall in Cornish. Tony, yeah. Oh, they're all there. Rob, I did hear you earlier on say hello to Matt Caddy. And when you say hello to Matt Caddy, you've got to say hello to his wife as well, Donna Caddy as well, because she listens.
Okay. No worries.
So, yeah, just, you get in ropes, you get in there, ain't it?
Yeah, still getting used to all the faces. It's taken time, and it makes it more tricky because you've got 3 new chats to follow. Like, because not only do I follow like Cookie and Pete, so I've been learning new faces and names there, but also Steve Turgoose, I've been learning new names and people there. So there's quite a bit of an extended family, sort of like I'm getting used to meeting and chatting to at various times during the week. So it's cool.
It is cool. It is good. Listen, I've had a number of people contact me this week that have talked to me and emailing and stuff like that. And I really need to get back, and I will get back in touch with him. I really will. And quite a few people. This is the reason why I'm never going to be a fucking billionaire or Alex Jones, is because I get people and they're sending me messages saying, "How can I donate?" And then it takes me ages to get back to them. It's just, it's just nuts. But yeah, I just want to just say about a lot of people commenting on this case that I just outlined earlier on, and a lot of people, he deserves no. Rob Alford says he deserves a no life sentence. When did this happen? It happened in 2021 in last September in Sheffield, just around the corner from Adi, in fact, right round the corner. When I used to go swimming with Adi, when we came home to Adi's house, when I came to drop him off, we went past the house, and you could see all the. There was for a time we were all boarded up, but for a time there were a lot of floral tributes and stuff like that there, but then they got cleared away. But I'm sure after tomorrow there certainly will be more there, some more there as well once it's over and done with. And I just hope everything goes all right and he gets fucking exactly what he deserves. Wait, he's not going to get what he deserves because there's no way to do that. But
well, a life sentence doesn't even justify that. Like, the key should really be thrown away on somebody like that. They should never be allowed back out in public ever again. I don't think, taking out young lives like that, it's just there's no justification for it. It's not safe to have people like that on the streets. If it was a dog, you put the dog down out of its misery, because and I'm not advocating
in the can. It will.
Yeah.
He's never having another good night's sleep ever again, ever. And for me, I know people go, you fucking torture him, fucking execute him and do all this shit. But for me, spending the rest of his life in prison, because he's only in his mid to late 20s. So to spend the rest of his life in prison, he's going to forever be wondering when the next beating's going to come, because he's not going to be thinking if I get a beating. He's going to be thinking when I get my next beating. That's what he's going to be. And let's hope that there's a few. Let's just hope that he gets what he deserves. That's all I can say. That he just gets what he fucking deserves. No, there will not be an Xmas Day broadcast. No. Hey, this year though, it's going to be different, isn't it? 'Cause it'll be King who does Christmas Day broadcast rather than.
That's true. Yeah, has he been coronated yet? Has he?
No, he's not. No, next year.
No, he's not really king yet. So.
No, I don't suppose he is. But
no.
Yeah, she became queen in 52 and were coronated in 53, weren't she?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the reason is why it takes so long, but there's obviously some sort of a reason for it. I watched that thing on Netflix.
Also, I'll give you a little hint here. This is like for way down in future for your kids or your grandkids or whatever. But coins from the time of when I tried to buy this old coin on a necklace for my mother a few years ago, and I think it were an old sixpence or something like that. But it was the year of her birth. Now, because her year of birth is 1952, that's when there was a change of monarch. So those coins were really rare and collectible. So if you've got any 2022 coins, stick them all in a place, chuck them away for 50 years so that somebody will find them. One of your members of your family, hopefully, or even just a tramp going past or something. If there still is tramps, surely there won't be tramps in 50 years' time. I bet they said that 50 years ago. But yeah. I tried to get my mum, and because she was born in 52, and that was the year that the king died and the queen was at the change of monarchy, those coins were really rare. So if you've got any 2022 stuff, I'd hang on to it, chuck it in a bag. One of your grandkids or great grandkids will dig it up in a few years, find it out somewhere, and make a few notes on it. So a little bit of financial advice.
Actually, it could be like by the time Charles is on the throne, you could be having to bury your crypto wallet, maybe. If we all go CBDCs before January or whenever that coronation is, you might be burying your cryptos.
Roberto Rhymes says, shout out from London, big up. Nice one, Roberto. Nice. Hello to you in London. And I've got also if Annette Roberts, if Annette Roberts is listening, I've bagged up your T-shirt today. I've got it in an envelope and it's ready to go. So I will be posting it tomorrow, and then you'll probably get it, I don't know, fucking February or something. Depends on how often they're on strike. But we support their strike and their right to strike. So might be a little bit delayed, but it's going to go in post tomorrow. I've got it downstairs, so it's all stamped up. It's all ready. It's all ready to go.
Now, there you go. That was the slightly used T-shirt, was it?
No. This is the brand new large T-shirt. The slightly used T-shirt I've still got. I've still got
Oh,
my
you got a
Slack
new
for
batch
YouTube
in,
shit.
did you? You got a
I
new
haven't got
batch
a new
in.
batch in, but I will get one very, very soon. I will get one very,
Okay.
very soon. I've got this. Have you seen this thing on in corner? I've got here back here.
The TV thing.
Yeah, that is Sheffield Wednesday's showing on it. Is this Sheffield Wednesday's
Oh.
League Cup glory from 1992 when we won League Cup? Now I'm on this. I'm on it. You can see me as clear as day. Twice. In fact, I think 3 times on this video. You can see me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it transferred digitally so that I can play it, and then you can see me on telly. Because honestly, I look like a 8-week. The thing is, the funny thing is this year on the anniversary, which was the 21st of April, which meant it were 31 years since we'd won. I text my dad, who I went to Gameway, and I said to him. I said, oh, I remember. I said, it's anniversary of 1991 League Cup final today, Dad. I remember that. And he said, oh, I said, Dad, when we went to that game, I'm 10 years older now than you were then. And that just like fucking blew his mind that I was 10 years older now than that game that we were at. So all them years ago. So yeah, it's. I'm on that, and I'm going to dig some more stuff up as well. I won't tell you all over the place. I'm going to dig other bits up, and I'm going to get my goal from Hillsborough that I've got on video.
Is it true that the first soccer game ever was in Sheffield?
Yeah, of course it is. Sheffield's the home of soccer. We've got about 4 miles that way is the oldest league. The oldest club in the world, Sheffield FC, the world's oldest club, and still it's about 4 miles from me up here. So Sheffield's where we invented. That's where football was invented, in Sheffield. We've got the old. Listen, you can't. It's not all this other shit. Nowhere else. It was invented in Sheffield.
I was listening. You probably know the story of this better than I can't remember who was talking about it. But the story of the first football game sounded kind of intriguing because if I picked it up correctly, he had a bunch of working class lads were playing against the Toffs, college boy or Ethan guy, or wherever the university guys were, and the university dudes were getting their arses fucking kicked by the working class lads. Is that right?
I have no idea. I've no idea about the first game. Even though I've not. I'm from here, and I know.
Apparently, there's a film about it. It's called the Beautiful Game. I haven't seen it now.
Maybe I don't know. It must have been in Sheffield. I mean, football was invented here, weren't it?
Yeah, no, I can't remember who was having the conversation there. Just one of the nights there recently, and I was just thinking about you, and I was thinking, I'm going to ask Jay about this. He'd probably know a lot about it. Like, so, you've surprised me tonight by not knowing fuck all about it.
No, you know what? I don't know anything about it. All I know is the football league were created in 1870, I think. Something like that. 1870. Wednesday weren't part of it until 1876. That's when we were formed. We were formed in 1876. We were a cricket team. And because it was half-day closing on a Wednesday, they always played Wednesday afternoons because it was half-day closing on a Wednesday. So they played Wednesday afternoons, and that's where the Sheffield Wednesday comes from. We played at Alderton Stadium, which is just across the road from where Hillsborough is now. And it's still a stadium. It's a dog track, and it still does speedway and all that sort of shit. But it's only a small stadium. But Wednesday were at Alderton, and then there was a group of, in 1889, there were a group of Wednesday players that were a bit miffed about, they weren't getting in team and all how it was being run and all that sort of thing. So they went away. In fact, Wednesday played at Olive Grove. In fact, they played at Bramall Lane first before Sheffield United. So when Sheffield United were formed by dissident Wednesday players who couldn't get in team and shit like that, and were just disillusioned with the whole thing, So they formed Sheffield United in 1889. And Sheffield United ended up playing at Bramall Lane, where Wednesday played at Bramall Lane before. But Wednesday played at Ollerton, which is why we call Owlerton Stadium, which is why we call the Owls, and then moved to Hillsborough. So there you go. There's a little Sheffield fucking... and I'm probably miles out on a lot of stuff, and there'll probably be people shouting at the telly going, "Oh, you fucking idiot!" But there you go. Wednesday was first, 1867. Sheffield United second, 1889. So there you go. First the best. Oh, you're Celtic before you're born, says Dinny. Yeah. Good one. Good old Dinny. So what else has been going on, man? What else have you been seeing? Yeah, this James Whale thing is really weird, isn't it? Because he's I know he had cancer. He's had stomach cancer, didn't he? Quite a few years ago. I think.
Right.
Perhaps in late 90s, early noughties, he got stomach cancer, which he's obviously recovered from, or he's in remission from. But no, it is a weird one. And of course, there's the bloke off GB News as well. Rob Stein, is it? Mark Stein? He's a presenter on GB News that's been doing interviews and stuff. He's had 2 heart attacks recently.
Oh, bloody hell. I didn't hear about that one now.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find the news article, and then I'll...
It's times like this, I bet he wished he got on our fucking debt sweep. It's like fucking... We're still waiting for somebody to fucking kick the bucket from our sweep. There's a T-shirt there for grabs for the fucking winner.
I'll just fucking get rid of all these cookie bollocks. Interest bollocks.
You know, we could be... What we should become is we should probably become good Samaritans and maybe double the debt sweep and maybe save more lives.
No, listen. I don't know. It's by the way, Dinny, you can't say that. It's Nottingham Forest. It's not. You can't say Notts Forest. It's Nottingham Forest and Notts County. If you say Notts Forest to a Forest fan, they'll fucking knock you, whack you in the fucking face. And you'll deserve it as well. You are, Dinny. But
yeah, a pure cunt.
Here we go. There you go. 2 heart attacks. 15 minutes from death. We've all been. Listen, I've had 2 heart attacks. And
see, I don't follow GB News, but now that I see him, I know him because I've seen a good few little clips of him, like here or there. He was the guy that was doing that thing about the injuries, wasn't it? He was doing
right. I think you were doing that, yeah. Right.
So I wonder what his status was.
Well, I'll tell you what. It was positive.
Right.
As in positive, positive.
Yeah.
So if you're HIV positive, you've got it. So if he was positive, that sort of status.
Yeah, and you wouldn't be too far off the mark by saying HIV positive, because that 100% you were HIV positive if you got that shit.
Yeah,
100%.
Yep. So there you go. So Stain said he's had 2 heart attacks because I didn't recognise the first one as such. The second one was rather more severe. The experienced broadcaster spoke about the shocking ordeal, saying he doesn't look right. Looking back at images of himself presenting the Mark Stain show during the first heart attack. Listen, that's not even a fucking heart attack. If he's presenting that show, it's not a heart attack. I've had two heart attacks, right? And the other one, that doesn't seem like he's not having a heart attack there. That's just a cardiac event. I've had about fucking 4 of them where they don't know whether it's an heart attack and they can't tell. And they do blood tests on you and they say, well, it seems like you've done had an heart attack, but you've not got any other symptoms. I've had them. I've had about fucking 4 or 5 of them. Yeah, but that's what that first one is. That's so he's had a second heart attack. I had a second heart attack in France with Audrey helping me in the ambulance. She told me I was 15 minutes from death, because that's what they do. You know, in the back of an ambulance, they'll go to you. By the way, you're 15 minutes from death, even though I did once hear I did once hear when I was in the back of an ambulance saying that he's got about half an hour. I do remember hearing him say, someone in the front of the ambulance while I was being treated in the back. I do remember that. Because it were about fucking 5 o'clock on a Tuesday. It were when I was having my second heart attack, I think. But they said that they did say, I heard him say he's got about half an hour. So whether that meant I would half an hour from death or what, I don't know. Anyway, continuing, the presenter also revealed he would remain in France over Christmas and New Year's. He's unable to leave medical care and return to New Hampshire. New Hampshire? What the fuck is he doing in New Hampshire? Thought he were British. Oh dear. Yeah. Anyway, there you go. He's had 2 heart attacks, and
That's crazy. Yeah,
he's
crazy.
positive. Positive.
Yeah.
Let me get a banner going on.
And then there was that top doctor, the absolute one of the top doctors in Australia, Dr. Karen Phelps. Now, she was a huge advocate for these treatments, right? Now, it turns out, now she broke her silence there over the last couple of days about her terrible injuries, not just her, but her and her wife, right? I don't know how that works. Like a woman, obviously one must be I don't know how it fucking works with these people. But anyway, her and her wife got massive injuries from certain treatment, and so she's broken her silence over the last couple of days about that. So there's an awful lot of people starting to speak up. I was looking at Tim Robbins there this morning, actually, when I woke up. Tim Robbins was on with Russell Brand there in the last few days. And he was telling his story. Now, he didn't get an injury now or anything like that, but he was just talking about how he treated people during the pandemic, like especially if they didn't go along with mask mandates or go get specialist treatments. And he was a very, very angry sort, and he was very, very pissed off with them, like, and as he was telling his story, like, he got onto the stage where after a while none of it started to make sense anymore, like after with all the flip-flopping that was going on with various things, and now he sees things quite differently, and he was speaking quite openly about how, look, it's all bullshit. Now he realizes, and he's sorry about what he said to people and for thinking that way. And so we've got some very, very high profile people now starting to break this wall of silence, which has been up like for 2.5 years now. So very, very interesting. Like lots of massive changes happening. I do sense there's a bit of a change in the public now, and it's going to be hard for people to learn this shit, like, because people are going to feel really badly duped when it all breaks. I'm not sure how aware most people are of all the bullshit, like, whether it's just us or, I have no fucking idea, but I imagine there's a lot of people out there don't want to fucking know as well, because of the situation they've been put in. It's like people who get suckered into scams, like say cryptos or stuff like that, and you don't like fucking talking about it. You don't even want to think about it. She's like, I fucking got burnt by these fucking cunts, man, and they screwed me and they fucking lied to me, and you go into a state of denial, right? I know this from experience. When you get fucking ripped off by scammers, like, you do go into a fucking state of denial, and but eventually you get over it, and then the fucking anger comes, and you go fucking scorched earth and any fucking cunt that gets in your way afterwards. So we'll see how this goes. There's a lot of people speaking out, though, starting to anyway.
Tons of them. Did you see? I saw an article. It was fucking hilarious. Sorry about that. Joint in it. I need one though after, Jason, could you please turn it off in the back? That's fucking Stan Boardman. How can you want Stan Boardman turning off? It's fucking dinny anyway, isn't it? Boston, but I did see one earlier on. It did say that I saw a news article. I think it was in Metro, but it said that unvaccinated people are more likely to have a car accident.
Yeah.
Did you see that? And do you know what the reasoning was? The reasoning was because these were the sort of people that don't follow the rules. And if they don't follow the rules or the zeitgeist, then obviously fucking horrendous. They're obviously going to do that, aren't they? You see, I've just driven to Derby and back, and like I were going fucking hell for leather all way because I don't care. I mean, what ridiculous shit are they going to come up with next? Just utter dog shit that they come up with.
I was watching Dr. John Campbell the other day. He done a brilliant take on it. I know people don't like Campbell, but I've been enjoying watching him lately. Like, God, his show today was just really good. Like, he's going scorched earth on it now, and he's very, very pissed off. Like,
I've not watched very much of that Dr. Campbell, but but the bits that I have watched, he does appear as though he realizes he's made a fucking massive error. When at the beginning of all this, it gives me that impression.
Yeah. I'm starting to come around to that way of thinking too, because I think, I think he was a believer, and he's not a believer anymore, and I think he's starting to call into question everything now. It's kind of interesting watching his progression. The faces that he pulls are very, very telling. You can tell. There's times there he wants to fucking cry. Some of the stuff he does be talking about, because
and you can't listen if someone's badly advised, you can't, and then at least they try to do something about the badly, the bad advice that they were getting. Then I can forgive that all day long. I can forget it all day long. But all these people that stick out, it's just fucking horrendous. It's horrendous. It's horrendous what's been done to people.
Yeah, and people who once trusted the science as well too, and you can see they're questioning it now. So many of them are questioning.
It's not really about that, Jimmy. For me, it's not really about that, right? Everyone can do what the fuck. As far as I'm concerned, anyone can do what the fuck they want. It was the personal choice, and for me to have one of my personal choices made to make me feel like I were some sort of pariah. I can handle it, but there are certain people that just can't. And it's horrendous what they did. It's horrendous. I'm not talking about any vaccines or anything like that. I'm talking about the propaganda, the pushing people into it. I mean, that was the main feature really for me, was how people were pushed and forced, almost forced, and told that if you didn't do it, then you were going to be forced.
Of course, they were forced in certain countries. There was a place like was it?
No, they were never forced. You could always say "fuck off" and leave your job, and you can.
Yeah.
You had to. You have to really. Matt Letizia posted the other day that his wife's sister, who lives in Australia, she worked for the police in Australia, Australian police force, and she's just been sacked because she didn't adhere to the mandate. So they've sacked her. This is just litigation waiting to happen. It's just litigation upon litigation that's waiting to happen.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know if it's. Yeah, there's going to be a flood. There's going to be a flood of payouts on this. We have no clue about the extent of the numbers injured now at the moment. It must be colossal, absolutely colossal. And these people are going to be state dependent, like for the rest of their lives, probably. Like, you know, by the sounds of it, like that top doctor in Australia, like her and her wife now, they sound like they're going to be they're totally fucked. Like, and the wife apparently has got neurological conditions, and it's never just one thing. It's always just a cascade of things happening to them, and it's never just one sort of like side effect. It's a number of things that's going wrong with them, like, you know, from neurological to heart to blood to all sorts of things, man. It's like, it's crazy. Like, fuck knows what they've done to these people, you know.
Well,
And
listen, I just want to say this just to dot the I's and cross the T's, but I just want to say we don't know anything about what we're doing. Is we're talking about what we're seeing, right? What we're seeing. So if it's a hoax, it's the fucking media's fault. They're reporting all this stuff. So all I'm saying is we're not giving out medical advice, are we? That's tomorrow night, but it still won't be medical advice tomorrow night because Dr. Robert is going to be on tomorrow night he's going to remind me in the chat in a minute what he's going to be talking about tomorrow night. So what his subject's going to be tomorrow night. But we at the moment, we're not giving out medical advice. We're talking about our own personal choices, and we're not suggesting that anybody should take these, should do the same as us. All we're suggesting is that perhaps you take a minute to because if somebody said to you, if a stranger came up to you and they said, right, I'm going to blindfold you and I'm going to feed you something, I'm going to put something in your mouth and you're going to eat it. And let's see if you can just as a game, let's see if you can guess what it is that I've given you. You wouldn't do that, would you? Of course you wouldn't. You're letting somebody put something inside here that you don't know what it is, and you've got no idea what it is. You don't know what their motives are, and it's the same as everything else. So why ingest anything else that you don't need to? That's as far as I think, anyway. But we're not giving medical advice. That'll be health advice tomorrow night.
Yeah, we didn't actually talk about anything medical at all, did we?
I'll tell you where Robert's gone. Robert's not in chat room. Robert, if you're in chat room, put in what your show's on about tomorrow night. If you don't put it in next fucking 5 minutes, he's gone over to Jimmy O, because Jimmy O's show's on at fucking 9. By the way, anybody else who wants to go over and watch Jimmy O, he's on at 9. So 12 minutes ago he started. Oh, there you go. Christmas. Oh, there we go. A Christmas cracker health special. 12 cracker jokes of Christmas.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, that should be good. That should be good. I'll send you a few. Here's one. Here's one out of a Christmas cracker. Why did the man throw the clock out of the window? Because it reminded him of Richard Clock, the man who was convicted of knife raping his wife. No? Okay. No McDonald's on that.
I tell you what, jokes go right over my head anyway at the best of times.
Robert's got Dinny as his guest. Hangover cures. I'm sure he ain't got Dinny on as his guest. I don't think anybody fucking is that mad, are they, to get Dinny on?
I don't know. Well, fucking Jimmy O, we took a fucking chance there a couple of times, I believe. But I heard it went all right. I didn't hear of any backlash anyway. I didn't hear of any internet wars afterwards, so it must have been okay.
What were we talking about?
When Dinny was on as a special guest with Jimmy O twice. So
well, Jimmy O's had this thing with fucking urbexes, hasn't he? He's called them all fucking nonsense or something. And just for you know what Jimmy's like.
I do, yeah.
And all these urbexes came on overnight. It's a right fucking shot in arm to Jimmy's channel. So support Jimmy O, Wigan Joker. Get on his channel when I'm not on or when we're not on. You know, he's Urbex. Oh, fucking overnight were fucking spectacular. The bloke that came, one of them urban explorers came on here, were fucking livid, absolutely livid. I was pissing myself laughing. And even I went on Jimmy's show last night, but I looked a right fucking 2 and 8. I looked a right mess. So yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah, Wigan Joker, get on there. Go and have a look when I'm not about. Yes.
I
Could
think
it
we
be
missed a
Paula?
couple of. Yeah, I was going to say hello to Paula, and we have to say hello to Beakford as well, and Spanish is in the house as well, and Donna, and I've seen Annette. Annette called in as well too. Did you know it was Annette in the chat? So, and we did say hello to. I think that's. Have we caught up with him? Mick Ramo. Mick Ramo's in.
Oh, do you
And
know
I
what?
have
Have you
to.
seen this? Have you seen this? Jimmy O is funny as fuck. You carry on talking, right? Read through some comments. I'm going to find the clip where fucking Denny comes on after I've interviewed fucking Jimmy O and says, that was fucking shite. That was shite. Fuck him, that was shite. I'm going to get that. He's changed his mind. Go on, Jimmy. Go on, Denny. There you go. So I'm going to find that. You keep talking.
All right, but I don't know what to talk about now just at the moment because obviously there's a shit pile of stuff going on in the fucking world, and where to fucking start? Yeah, of course, we had that princess, the Thai princess. She collapsed there during the late last week, I think it was. If I try to say her name, I'm just going to butcher it. But I'm going to try anyway, right? Princess Bajrakitya Yava. Right? Totally butchered it. I'm not even going to try that again. But, oh God, the father's name is just as fucking bad. Vajralongkorn. That wasn't too bad. Longhorn. Yeah. But anyway, poor dear. She was only 44 years old, right? And she was out doing some training because she was going on some sort of a competition to with dogs, basically. So because she's a dog trainer by all accounts, dog trainer. And while she was out doing some training with the dog, she suffered a massive heart attack. Last I heard, she was on life support, and I haven't heard any updates since then. But yeah, this is the case I wanted to cover. While because we have Rob Halford on listening over on Facebook. This case over in Queensland, the shooting of Garrett Train and his wife Stacey and his brother Nathaniel. Now they were shot there about was it a week and a half ago by police after they shot two cops who came. Allegedly, they were looking for out on a missing persons case, right? And at the time, there was a lot of vagary about who the missing person was and and whatnot. Like, but I was just listening to Max Egan there this morning over at the Crow House. He put out a show and he was covering it a little bit. And he actually had some extra information about that particular case. It may be that Nathaniel was the missing person. Now, after obviously the two brothers shot the two cops, a policewoman and a man, very young. They were very, very young, maybe mid to late 30 or to late 20s. Shot them dead, and then obviously the SWAT team arrived then, and they took care of business and shot the three people in the house, the husband, the wife, and the brother. They shot them there, and during the shootout, one of the neighbors got shot dead as well too. So there was three people shot dead there. No, hold on. What was it, like 3, 4, 5, 6 people shot dead in total there at that place in Queensland. So it turns out this Nathaniel was a fairly well respected chap, right? He was one of the top headmasters in the country, and he was kind of like, he was usually brought in to handle tricky schools where there was lots of problems, schools where there was lots of problems, because apparently he had this knack of sort of like motivating students and getting things in order and getting things running fairly smoothly, like, you know. So he ended up at this particular this story Max was telling this morning now that and so obviously I can't confirm nor deny, but I did do a little search earlier on, and he is a well-renowned headmaster. This Nathaniel Train guy. So, and he's been around the block, and he's worked for the government and all sorts of places like that. So the story is that the school that he was working in turns out may have been a paedophile den. Um, the whatever was going on, the students, like, he found that they couldn't read nor write nor do basic math and stuff like that. Yet they were all getting like seriously well passing grades and good grades from the teachers in question. Now that obviously raised a few concerns, as according to Max, about the general story. So allegedly, the Nathaniel, the schoolmaster, sent letters requesting assistance from the authorities to come and deal with some of the allegations that were being thrown about here in the school. And next thing you know, he's gone into hiding and in a lot of trouble, with the police, and the police are harassing the family and getting nothing but major hassles for them, like, you know, and threats to come and take their house and to bore a well on the land and just clean them up and just basically destroy the whole fucking family, basically. So when these two cops came and arrived, whatever happened anyway, they got shot. And this Nathaniel and the wife and her husband put out a video, and Max played a bit of it there this morning, like, and it was a video about like calling out to people. It was kind of like their death video to their friends and family, I think, and stories about we'll see you at home, that sort of thing. But Max was saying like what they meant by home was probably in heaven. But they were saying like, look, people, these people are totally satanic, like, and we have to stand up now. We have to stand up now and defend ourselves. Otherwise, they're going to wipe us all out, basically. So it was just very, very strange story. I'm not sure how much of it is all true, how much of it is false, but I'd imagine like there's quite a bit of it would be true, because the fact that like Nathaniel was such a well-respected headmaster leads me to believe that he would have been an honourable man, like, you know, especially if he was being headhunted to come and work in so many disadvantaged schools and stuff like that, or problematic schools. So something tells me that there may well be something to this story. But I just thought it was a very, very strange story, man. An awful ending, of course. So we'll be keeping an eye out for more on that story. Like, but you know, as Max was saying this morning, a lot of the videos are being cleansed, a lot of the stories are being cleansed off the internet, which doesn't surprise me at all either, because a lot of these, like, you know yourself, the way a lot of these operations are run. These operations are run, like, you know, especially like when it comes to, say, drug dealing and stuff like that. A lot of these operations are run by the top people in the country, like usually connected to law enforcement, and of course you'd have like corrupt government as well too at the top of the fucking pyramid as well too. And this is how it always works, and this is how it works when it comes to the pedophile networks as well too, because these networks, if they wanted, they could take them down in a heartbeat, you know, but that's not how it fucking works, like, you know. So very, very strange story coming out of Australia, that like that's the story. I'll just give their names again if you want to go search them out. It's the story of Gareth Train and his wife Stacey and brother Nathaniel. And basically the title of the article I'm looking at is Queensland Police Shooting Inside the Conspiracy Theory Group Praising Cop Killers. So, but the interesting thing about this story now also is like they've been connected now. A lot of the groups that they were connected to on Telegram are being sort of like, they're talking about hunting them down now, and labeling them as conspiracy theorists, you know. And so I'm thinking that there's going to be an extra push here now to clamp down even harder over in Australia on sort of like groups who may be organising on the internet, like, you know, like Nathaniel and his people were being labelled as anti-vaxxers and conspiracy theorists and all sorts of names were being bandied about and connected to them. Like, and they were making very public too the connections to the Telegram groups that they were communicating on, and even went to a lot of hassle just to highlight a lot of the text messages that were going on in the group. And this was coming out in the local newspapers. So I think you know where I'm going with this. Like, you know, there is going to be, it does obviously looks like there's going to be some sort of a push now to control the social media even more than it is already over in Australia. And I think also now they're going to be pushing to tighten up gun laws even more than they are. Like, I mean, the Australians were kind of disarmed quite a long time ago. I know you can still have guns and stuff, but like they used to have a lot more gun rights in the past than they do now, if I remember correctly. Like, you know, so that was an interesting story that I've come across over the last 2 weeks.
Very interesting story, Jim. Very interesting story. Yeah. You see the thing. I don't fucking know. Let's have a look at fucking dinner. Do you know what I want to do? Let's have a listen to Dinny. Shall we have a listen to Dinny, what he had to say when Jimmy O were on? Hang on, let me see if I can, let me share this fucking. Here we go, share screen.
Hey, Timothy McPherson, welcome to the chat.
Can you see that? Yeah? Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck the Beatles, man.
I work for the Tavistock Institute. I've been sent to lower people's vibrations on various live streams. You know, I'm just doing my job.
Exactly. Yeah.
Come on then, Uni. You fucking called in and now you ain't got no to say.
He did this on my live stream. It was like a lodge.
Let me see.
But my mate has a studio in his house. Uni, I've said to you before.
Oh, I'll have to listen. If you want to see it, you'll have to fucking find it. But yeah, Dinny's changed his tune on Jimmy Owen. You know, you're allowed to do that. That's good. But I wanted to look at this. This is I found this fucking funny, hilarious, because I used to do this quite a bit ago. And what I'd do is I'd go onto my YouTube channel. I'd share screen. I'd go onto my YouTube channel and then I'd hover over one of the videos. And then it gives you like a couple of seconds of weird stuff, you know, like so it gives you a couple of seconds of what's on video. In a 2-hour video, it could be fucking anything. So I've just been looking through. I was just looking through, and I found this one. Let me just show you this one. Share screen.
Oh, I see. Timothy McPherson is Uni. Holy shit! I'll have to get used to that name now.
Yes, he's got a new thing. Let me where's fucking full screen?
He got married to a McPherson, did he?
There we go. Is that better? Or is that better? There you go. Right, let me just have a look at you can see that one that says Raconteurs News 5-year anniversary with Webby 2. Can you see that one?
Where are we now? Yeah.
You can see that, yeah. Right, I'm going to hover over that and just see what it does when I hover over that, because I thought, oh my God, I can't even fucking remember this. What is this? Are you ready for this? Are you sure you're ready?
Yeah. What the fuck? What is that?
I'll tell you what that is. That's me with a really thin stump sock over my head with 2 red eyes drawn on it that I obviously like have put in correct position of my eyes, and holding the smoke alarm in my hand. When I have my lift installed, they have to have smoke alarms. You have to have smoke alarms that are wired up to mains, and they just kept fucking going off. So I just ended up pulling them down. So I've got like regular battery operated smoke alarms, but you're supposed to have these, and they fitted them and everything, and they just kept fucking going off for no reason. Yeah, that was a good game. I like that. What do you rate to that? It's good, isn't it? See,
it reminded me a bit of the Kanye West gimp suit thing, you know. Only though your gimp suit is white privileged, you know.
Okay, have you seen how fat I am, Nia?
You are a bit stout there, all right, aren't you?
Okay, now fire. Oh,
She
like
was obviously
uni.
feeding you. She was obviously feeding you much better back then.
Some of them don't do it. Some of them do. There you go. There's one with Ben. Good old Ben. We're going to have to get Ben on soon again. He's a good lad, Ben. I like Ben. We're going to have to ask him about Richard Deol as well, aren't we? And Sanders.
Yeah.
See what new ones do. If there's any good ones. There used to be some really good ones of these. The ones with my hands on my head, there's loads of them. If you look next to it, I look like the same. Exactly the same with my hands on my head. If you look up next video on where it says RN census takers and then beans. Hands on my head again. That's me after just scoring at Hillsborough. Yeah. Oh, and there's me on the field. Yeah. Some of these used to be really fucking funny. Oh, I'm on phone there. Mind the Gap. Oh, yeah. I'm going to get him on, weren't I? I saw him the other day, I saw him post on Facebook. Shaler, David Shaler.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, I've had
know,
dealings with David Shaler in past, and I booked him to come on the show, and he fucking didn't turn up, and he won't get. I wrote to him, and I said to him, "Do you remember me? I fucking met you in this place, and I gave you a message." And then following week, you were a fucking no-planer, and he says, "Oh," I said, "Cool, come on my show," and he said, "Oh, I'll come on," and then didn't turn up. Anyway, I saw Mark Conlon, who we've had on this show.
Right,
Mark
yeah.
Conlon does a podcast called somewhat different to what this is, but he does a podcast, the Enlightened podcast, I think, Enlightened Times podcast. That's the one he does. Does the Enlightened Times podcast, and David Shaler had put on a comment on Facebook saying, "Oh, you'll have to interview me." And I thought about it, but I thought, no, I'm just going to. Discretion is a better part of valor. I'm going to put. Don't fucking bother booking him because he don't turn up. But no, I didn't. Let's see, hands on head again.
That's your signature, please. If he doesn't have the hands on the head, he's got a joint hanging out his gob.
I like this one. This is quite symmetrical.
That's weird. Yeah.
That's an old one with Clyde Carl from.
This was back when you used to believe in globe Earth, wasn't it? That one there to the.
Oh, that one.
Car. Yeah.
That one with car. That's a masterpiece from Tony, Non-Violent Extremist. That car. Because I said, there you go, hands on my head again. Because I said that I had because I used to have a yellow Cortina estate when I was like 20 or something like that. It was best car ever. Got me through some very good times. Hands on my head. Oh, see what I'm doing there. Oh, you can see top of my head there. You could right said Fred.
That's your solar panel. Your solar panel.
Oh, look at that. I've got hair and everything. Hands on my head. Hands on my head. Oh, there we go. Hands on my head.
Yeah, so
I have to
you
call again.
do that quite a bit, though. The old hand thing. Definitely.
What about this one? This one's good. Woo! My beautiful blue eyes. That's the one with Jimmy. Anyway, I used to, this were always good fun. I ain't done it for ages. David Weiss. Look at David Weiss. Fucking Dinny talking about, did you see David Weiss on Richie Allen show? No, why would you see him on fucking Richie Allen show when you're here? You can watch him here. You've watched him here. Outrageous. Fucking outrageous, my man. Shayla might come on screen dressed up as a woman called Dolores before claiming he's the Messiah. I know, I've seen it, I've done it. I was there, sat in the fucking front row. I don't know if I wrote front row, but when he did that, me and Andy were there. I'm pretty sure me and Andy were there. But when he did that, when he proclaimed himself the Messiah to talk, me and Andy were there. It was the most surreal thing ever. Can't remember where it were. It weren't the most surreal thing ever. But you see, I had dealings. I've told you this before. I've had dealings with David Shayler loads of times, and I were even told one time to go and give him a message by a bloke in America, and I went and gave him a message, and then following this guy were a guy. I said, "Guy, fuck, let's stop talking about this." Americans. It's because I talked about Americans. That's all words they know, innit, guys? Yeah.
I did. It's a term I don't use very often anyway, so but I don't mind. I don't have any problem.
No, this is the thing. I'd say funny thing, but when I were driving down to Derby earlier on, I got Laura and Kerry in back car, and Laura just kept saying "guys" all the time. I said, "Stop fucking saying guys. Will you stop? This is my car. You can't be saying guys in my car." Oh, fucking guys.
You see that guy? What's his name?
Oh,
David
you just
Icke.
said it.
What's that thing they used to add? What was that thing of the Blackadder like when they used to say? They used to have this ritual they used to do when somebody said a certain word. Can't remember. But David Icke, he lost his appeal on the ban from entering Europe there during the. I think it was yesterday. I think he lost his appeal yesterday, and so
Right.
and he came on, put on a video this morning, like, and telling people how much he didn't give a fuck, and you could tell by the way he was going to be, he gives a fuck. He really does. He gives a fuck.
Well, I mean, this is the thing, right? I mean, he's the bloke that we're fucking really. And this is, I'm not anti or pro. I realise now that it was just all a fucking, it were all just a psyop for us to all take aside. But he was really, really enjoying and celebrating when Brexit happened. And now, as a result of Brexit, he can't go out of the country, can he? He can't go to Europe. Because he's banned, and that's because of Brexit. If we'd have not had Brexit and we'd still been in Europe, he would have been able to move freely, and there would have been no they could really do.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. That did spring to mind earlier on when he was telling his story, and it was just, this Brexit thing is probably plays into it somehow, like, and they're under no obligation to give them any fucking leeway into the country. Like, I mean, they've banned fucking Russians, so why not Brits? Like, there's no love lost there, I'd imagine,
Well, of course not. No, it's not. Well, it's not just about that, though, is it? I mean, if we were still in EU, he'd have the right to travel because he's a member, as an EU citizen. He would have the right to travel. So then he would then be able to clandestinely just go to somewhere and then go up and do his talk or whatever.
Yeah.
There'd be ways and means around it, but the thing that he wanted has meant that is limited to the money that he can earn, because that's really what it is. It's the money that he can earn, isn't it?
It's the fucking money when he's pissed off, and that was one of the things that he didn't fucking mention, and it was there on the tip of my fucking tongue. It's the fucking money, you cunt, and you. That's the only thing that's pissing you off, like, is that you're not getting fucking paid. But anyway, he did read out a little bit of the court transcript, and part of their reason was a bit flawed, I think, and they're being a little bit overprotective for their population about having conspiracy theorists coming and spreading misinformation about walkies and all sorts of fucking things like that. So,
and lizards and that, don't it?
And lizards. But but look, I do support his right to fucking talk about any fucking shit he wants to talk about, because I got a load of fucking I had loads of enjoyment listening to him over the years. That doesn't mean that, like, thinking back on it, like, how fucking silly I was to fucking buy into half the fucking shit that he said, like, but but most of it I don't fucking believe at all now anymore. Like, but that's not saying he didn't put out some good stuff and some good content. Some of it was quite interesting and enthralling, and
Well, it's all
but like,
interesting. That's why. That's the reason why it's all interesting. It's all enthralling, and it's all things that it's also almost like having forbidden knowledge. Oh bollocks! Hang on, I just think I was just on then. Hang on.
it's bad when you become your own groupie. that was me. I'm on the telly. Whoopee.
No, just saying if it were. No, it weren't me. I'm on there somewhere because my dad sat next to me, and I stand up and do that, go like that. Like a fucking idiot. Just there's cameras on me. I didn't know camera were on me. Obviously, I just stood up and did it. And I got a HMS Sheffield band thing from art because somebody get it me in nightclub that I was working in a bit before. Yeah. No, it weren't me. Oh, it must have gone past me, I think. Never mind. You'll see me on telly one day. That's a typical Sheffield welcome. Yeah, but I look. Thing is, with Ike, it's like all of them. You cannot be really true to yourself on what you really fucking believe because you want to keep subscribers. You can't. You see what I mean? You want to keep subscribers. You don't want to alienate people. I know the lizards things probably fucking like which did alienate a lot of people for a long time. You got to admit, haven't you? A long time, a lot of people were alienated from listening to David Icke because the lizard thing.
Well, come here. Look, back about 25, 30 years ago, could have been even longer. There used to be a show, The Late Late Show. Well, it's still The Late Late Show, but back then it was Gay Byrne who used to do The Late Late Show here in Ireland. And Ike was on there one night, and the stuff came out about the reptilians and all sorts of stuff like that. Like, and the Irish people at that time, like, as thick as they are now, they were even fucking thicker back then and knew fucking less about the world. And never mind fucking starting to talk about fucking lizards and stuff. He was just laughed at, Nobody took him seriously. Like, it wasn't that he alienated them or anything. They just said, this guy's a fucking loon, and we're probably dead right. But that was the Gay Byrne show. That was back in the 80s. That could have been the 80s when he was on the Gay Byrne. I must actually see if I can track that down. That'd be an interesting one to root out. And I'm not sure if it'd be under copyright or anything like that, but it'd be interesting to root it out and play it back because it was a good interview. Gay Byrne was a good host. He was a cunt, like, but he got worse later in life, but he was a good presenter. He was quite engaging. So, but anyway, there you go. David Icke was on fucking MSM here in fucking Ireland talking about lizards at one point.
Well, he were on snooker here. He used to be on snooker. Jason, you're behind you, says Robert. Yeah. I've not had the. I've just bought. It's just come today. This video player. I bought an old video player, second-hand video player, because I've got some videos and I want. I'm
surprised you can still get them even. Fucking hell.
Well, it's not new. It's a second-hand refurbished thing. So, it's come today, and I've got some old videos that I hadn't seen for fucking years, and. Well, what's the point in having them if you're not going to have a look? So I've got a fucking video DVD player and thing going back. So yeah. Anyway, I was looking for myself. I am on that video. I'll find this bit and I'll have it tuned next time so that you can see it. But I've not seen it myself yet. I've seen it before, but years and years and years and years ago, and I don't know what it is. So.
I'm just after getting what Stephen Owens is after typing in there. Gay Byrne sounds painful and psychologically damaging evening. Gay Byrne. I had to think about it.
We used to get the Gay Byrne show on really, really late night TV on ITV.
Really, yeah.
Years and years ago, like the 80s and 90s. We used to get that, and I used to find it interesting to watch because it seemed to be different and less like. I don't know what it's like now, but then it seemed to be less. It seemed to be more laid back. You know what I mean? Gay Byrne were a bit laid back, weren't he? His shock of silver hair and what have you. And there's that infamous, obviously that infamous one with Boyzone. Remember that one? When Boyzone came on. And they were just dancing about because they had no idea what they were going to do. Oh, you remember that one?
No, because no, because I can't remember. I probably that's probably way back, and that's probably way back, and I probably wouldn't have been even in Ireland at that stage, you know. So and probably living out on the continent at that stage, over in Belgium or somewhere like that, and no access to the late show, no interest either at that fucking stage.
Then, when you're done, right? When we're done tonight, on YouTube, type in late show Boyzone. Just type that in, you'll find it. The clip is fucking hilarious, man. Absolutely fucking hilarious. Because what they've done, right, is what's his name? Fucking who's that Irish cunt who's on X Factor? You know what I mean, don't you?
I'm useless when it comes to these cunts, man, because I don't know any of them. I probably know him if you said his name, but another one of these boy singers, is it? Shane.
What he
something.
done? No, he were like his agent thing. Oh God, what's he called? Someone tell me in chat room, please. He were on anyway years ago when I watched it, X Factor, and he was this Irish bloke. God, what was his fucking name? Can't remember his name. But anyway, he'd got these lads together, and all he'd done is Louis Walsh. That's him. Right, Louis Walsh.
Right.
Louis Walsh has got these lads together. He's going to form a boy band. Now, before they've even done anything, so the lads have only just met. Right? Before he's got them an interview on RTE on the Late Show with Gay Byrne. And so they've got nothing to do, right? You know how they do a piece a little bit. They've got no songs to sing. So they've just met, not done anything. So they just dance about like a bunch of, one of them's got dungarees on, we know on underneath. You know, like doing dungaree, and you know, just like a bunch of pansies. It's honestly, you've got to watch it. You've got to find it in there. It's hilarious.
I've taken note of that now.
Boyzone. And I remember Gay Byrne saying, "Well, they don't know what they're doing, but they're going to give it a go," or something like that. So they probably don't know what they're doing, but they're going to give it a go. So really weird.
I think Gay Byrne was part of that old school clan of hosts. You know, like the old schoolers, like you know, like the good old days of radio, like say the coast to coast days, like and they're a rare breed now. There's very very few of those types of hosts left anymore. They're all fucking woke now, and they're
robots. You can't get on unless you're a robot. That's the thing. You can't get on unless you're. I did a bit of radio work in Dubai, and I also did a bit of radio work in Mansfield, and I just could not. It were too in Dubai. It were fine because there were no copyright. There were nothing. Back then, there were no copyright, nothing. You could play whatever you wanted. They didn't have to pay anything. It didn't matter. And you played it and it were fine. But when you're in this country, you get playlists. You've got a rigid playlist that you've got to stick to. And that were, fucking hell, how long ago that were about 15 years ago. So, fuck knows what it's like now. You can't say it. It's a wonder they've even got actual people doing anything. Because none of them have got any personality whatsoever. None. Not a fucking single one. They don't want that. They don't want a personality. They just want somebody that's just going to do what they want and say what they want to be said. Tell what they want told. No personality.
That's it, yeah. Very cerebral, all of them, like just yeah. I can't. That's why I can't watch television. That's why I can't listen to radio in general. And I'd much rather listen to fucking Alex Jones than listen to anybody that might be on the fucking terrestrial TV or radio. I just find it such a painful exercise. and
Fuck me,
futility.
I'd rather listen to you. You'd rather Starlight Chat. I'd rather than watching fucking that shit on listening to fucking terrestrial and mainstream media. I'd rather watch Cookie.
Yeah, well, that's exactly where I am at these days. I don't want to listen to any fucking content unless it's just lads like us fucking sitting around talking shite, man. And I'm happy with that now, and that's all I fucking need. Fuck the rest of it.
You don't need to. You're enhancing your life while you're doing this, aren't you? Let's say. I want to say. Paula. Hello, Paula. I noticed you were on earlier on. We didn't say hello to her. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. Yeah. So yeah, hello to Paula, and thanks for your text messages. They always put a sparkle in my eye. They're always good. So keep them coming. Keep them coming whenever you feel like it. Anybody needs to get in touch with me. If I don't reply, it's not personal. And if I don't reply for a long time, I will reply eventually. Apart from fucking uni. We'll just ignore him completely. Well, we've got about 10 minutes left, mate, to chew the fat. What we're going to talk about now for the last 10 minutes.
Right. Well, look, why don't we just have a little gander about this fucking Musk business and stepping down from Twitter chair might kill a couple of minutes, man. Did you hear about what was going on there? Did you?
I saw it today. Yeah, that a few people had said he did a poll, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
He said it's abide by whatever the poll was.
Yeah, there was a few good skits going around. He says, I think it was just before the counting the poll was nearly finished. Somebody was dropping messages about like, oh, hold on, a big huge batch of mail-in ballots just arrived, and they're being counted right now. So but he lost by a good bit. Like I think it was 54% v 48 or something like that. But he probably knew that was going to be the outcome, like, and the bots probably went fucking crazy as well too. But at the end of the day, that's not Musk's fucking business. That's a military fucking operation, that is, and he's just in there as the fucking front man. I'm not even sure he invested any of his own fucking money in it, to be honest. And but he did put out a curious message when he put the poll up, like, and he says that he will abide by the result of the poll, but you better be careful what you wish for. He will put a new CEO in, but you better be careful what you wish for, and that's it. That was his warning to everybody: be careful what you wish for, in anticipation that he'd lose the poll, because who the fuck has he got lined up to take over there? So there's the internet is bound with fucking rumors as to who that might be. Anything from Donald Trump Jr. to even Donald Trump himself. Like, could you imagine Trump taking over Twitter? That would be funny.
I reckon, you see, if he really wanted to fuck him up, what he could do is he could like appoint some middle-aged woman from Barnsley, that's that's no nonsense. She's not going to fucking talk any nonsense. She's not going to take any nonsense either. I think that would be a good CEO. I think that's the way we should go. We should, instead of all these cunts that have got like all these skills that they can put these words together. What about people that have got decent values? Because they ain't got fucking decent values. Many people.
Well, that's a good point there Tony's making. And another person who made that observation as well, Tony, was Kim.com. Kim.com put out a tweet kind of like insinuating something similar like that. And then Musk replied in underneath that tweet, interesting. And that's all he wrote, just interesting under it. So so I don't know what's going on with fucking Twitter. It's but obviously, like, the moves there over the last week or so with the mass banning of all those journalists who were doing the doxing and stuff, and then he reinstated them after a poll. It's crazy there now. I tell you what, I wouldn't go back on Twitter for love nor money. No way.
Oh, I love it. It's fucking funny as fuck. I just watch it. Really. I very rarely tweet out. If I do, it's Viva Argentina. Flag there, by the way. Already.
Yeah. Yeah, there was that was interesting too. About there was some complaints coming in about the lack of diversity in the Argentina football team. Like, what the fuck, you know? And,
somebody didn't somebody reply? It's because we're a fucking country, not a Disney movie.
Yeah, that's right. And then there was posters going around with the French team. I can't remember who was commenting on the.
Hang on a minute. Who's the fucking? Hang on a minute. Where's the diversity in the Senegal fucking side or the Cameroon side? It's not there, is it? It's not diversity. No. It's just about bash the fucking, fucking bald-headed fucking middle-aged white man with one leg. Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Yeah. I just when you hear the diversity thing coming up, my fucking bullshit antenna go fucking straight up, like, it's bullshit straight away.
Somebody to me doesn't mean more to me because they might have a leg missing. We've just got something in common. That's all. They don't mean anything to me. It's not, I don't feel like I'm part of the amputee community or whatever. I don't feel like I'm just me. That's all. And that's where we're going wrong. We all wanted to identify ourselves as something. We've got a gear sensor label. I'm not happy with that label. I'm going to fucking do something about it. Then you all get fucking mixed up and twisted about what label you've got and what you think that people perceive you as.
Yeah. Well, I'm far right and I'm fucking happy.
I think that's I replied to a tweet that Anna Breeze had made, and I think that's when she followed me. But she did a fucking poll, and she did do my followers. I mean, she's having a fucking. I don't know what's going on with her. Anyway, she put a poll. Are my followers a reflection of me? And so I replied to that. If you get the answer you want, then they are. Because that, it is, isn't it? I mean, people are so fucking hung up on what they're seen as and what people perceive them as. Fuck that. Fucking perceive me as what you want. Perceive me as what you want. Fucking,
There's a lot of truth, though, to... there seems to be something to the fact, like, especially when it comes to choosing partners, like we choose partners who are kind of like a reflection of ourselves, maybe sometimes even a polar opposite, but they're usually a reflection of ourselves or something that we would like to aspire to, so in a sense, yeah, it's a pointless fucking question to be asking because it should be fucking obvious. Of course, the people who are following you are a reflection of yourself. Otherwise, they wouldn't be fucking arse following you,
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's we've got so many fucking insecurities as human beings. It's ridiculous, and I think that we need to rid ourselves of these insecurities. I mean, my daughter were telling me today. I spoke to her earlier on, and she was telling me that she weren't feeling very well, and she'd got somebody who'd come for she does eyelashes and that just in her spare time, just for extra money. She does eyelashes and that sort of thing. And she said, and this woman come and she was coughing up everywhere, and now I feel fucking ill. I says, but you see, that's just what people perceive it as. It's just fine to do whatever you fucking want. Just nobody seems to have any time she wanted her eyebrow, even though she was ill and she was coughing up and she was fucking spluttering and sneezing and doing whatever. She still wanted her fucking her eyelashes done. I mean, for fuck's sake, You shouldn't be having your eyelashes done anyway in fucking first place. And if you feel fucking shit, definitely not.
Yeah, if you're fucking feeling shit, stay the fuck at home, man. Keep your bugs to yourself, and
Yeah, you don't need to see anyone else. Anyway, it's a good excuse to stop at home. What's fucking better than stopping at home?
anyway,
Going to work. It'd be better than stopping at home, but yeah, we can't do that. So what? How are we set for Christmas? What are we going to be doing?
you mean on Friday? You mean?
Yeah, Friday. Let's say Friday, for example.
Yeah. Or do you want to do a Christmas special? I don't know, man. Look, it's all
Should we
good.
do a Christmas special?
It's all good for me, man. You know, it's all good for me. I don't mind actually. Yeah, I will be having during the day. I will be having dinner with Mum and stuff like that. So, but later in the evening, of course, yeah.
Well, I'm not talking about Christmas Day. Fuck that.
Right. Yeah. No, that's great. Yeah. That's
you
great.
know, what about we can do Friday? We can have a Christmas special on Friday. We might have one. We'll definitely have one between Christmas and New Year.
Yeah.
And then we'll be in January. We'll be back to regular, and we will be regular as clockwork.
Indeed.
Yeah. So if we do a Christmas special, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to concoct a conspiracy quiz for Friday night. And if you want to come in, and we'll continue talking like we do now. But in between, we'll have, I don't know, 10 or 12 questions, and we no Googling and all that sort of thing. You know, and just see who can, if anybody knows, just promise me no Googling. Just, I don't know.
But it has to be, but we'll have to do a bit of checking. No plagiarism, no. It has to be in your own words.
Oh, yeah, be my own words. Don't worry about them. You'll know it's my own words and all. By the way it's written. Yeah, so we'll do some anyway on Friday. We'll do some on Friday. We might start,
New Year's Day
a bit earlier as well.
New Year's Day is not until, or New Year's Eve is not till the 31st, Saturday the 31st. So sometime during the week we could do the whatever day. So we'll figure that out. We'll figure that out then on Friday. What we'll do for the between Christmas and New Year.
Yeah. We'll definitely, But right, I'm gonna sort something out for Friday. I'm gonna write a quiz, a conspiracy quiz, 10 or 15 questions, something like that. Just for no Google, it's just for fun, right? Nobody's winning out. There's no fucking, it's just, I'm just gonna write a conspiracy quiz. Could be about JFK, could be about 9/11, could be about anything, really, anything at all, apart from the last couple of years. We'll probably stick to post 2019, pre-2019, and leave, then we can, it's like a conspiracy gold quiz. So we'll do that on Friday. I'll give me something to do with this. I've got plenty to do, but give me something else to do.
Of course, with all the JFK files that come out recently, I'm still waiting for the gems to be released on that. But there's still 1 or 2% that still hasn't been released. They're still holding a little bit back. I think that may be got to do with a few people may still be alive who would have been involved. So, did you see that? I think RFK came out and made a statement about the CIA involvement in his uncle's death, and that America was captured back then, and it has never been the same since. So interesting things happening around JFK at the moment. We might get to the bottom of it at some fucking stage.
We may very well do
that. Definitely it's pointing to CIA.
Oh, listen, it's fucking massive, isn't it? It's massive. I mean, and if you want to look back, we've got loads of JFK shows over 6 years. If you want to look back at some of them, we had some great people on who've written books and people we actually had people that knew people, and all sorts of shit. So a lot of them not around anymore. I think we had Jim Mars on. Jim Mars come on here. We had
Really? Holy shit. Jim is dead now, isn't he? Isn't Jim dead now?
Jim died a couple of years ago, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, really interesting people. So have a look back. I don't know whether they're on Spreaker. What I might do is I might go onto the Spreaker account, because the Spreaker account, we had a Spreaker account before YouTube and all that sort of stuff. And so there's a lot of shows that are just on Spreaker before Spreaker started then uploading them to your YouTube channel as well. So there's a lot on Spreaker. So what I might do is I might reactivate the Spreaker account and see if I can find them. Because we had some really fucking top quality guests on. And there's me probably asking them what the favourite colour UFO were. Probably, this is Patrick Moore, is it? I thought I was coming up to it. I was going to come on to a goddamn British show. I thought, God damn it, Patrick Moore there with his monocle. No, I get this fucking bald-headed shit, man. What's my favourite colour? I'm like, goddamn, UF motherfucking O is. Jesus H fucking Christ. Yeah, anyway, we'll be back Friday. Oh, just say, Jim, before we go.
I'll just say cheers for keeping me company earlier on the show, people, and we'll catch you all on Friday. Thanks a lot.
Anybody want after show? Post now, say yes now, or forever hold your peace.
Yeah, I'm not going to stay too long, man, because my sleeping pattern is fucking getting back to normal now. I've been going to sleep early and waking up fucking really early, man. Oh, fucking ridiculously early. I woke up at 3:30 this morning. Pitch fucking black outside.
Right, that's it then. Yeah, anyway, take it easy, everyone. We'll see you on Friday. And you're listening to Raconteurs News. How better could life be?
Lag.